Hello everyone, welcome back to the workbench. A surprise for you. Yes, another Galaga. This one came in for a repair out of a arcade in Athens, Ohio. Nick had reached out to me about it. The game was malfunctioning. He pulled the customs and stuff to clean the legs, and he did say one of the legs broke off, or one or more broke off, and at that point he just stopped. So, board came in very well packaged, looks good. Initial look over, everything looks good on it so far. I don't see anything scary or alarming. So I'll take a good look here before we do anything on it. One thing I notice here, our primary Z80 is not snapped in the whole way. We'll deal with that later. That's not seated the whole way. Customs, some of them look pretty clean. There's some dirty legs on some of them. I don't see anything missing legs yet. I've got some dirty pins over here on these guys. Z80s look good. Nope, here we go. My 51 Custom is missing a leg, and that one actually looks like it's almost cut there too. So I have to repair that. Overall, not bad. We have the good quality resistor packs in here. It's not the wafer ones that fail all the time. That's good. We do have an extra cap attached here. Not quite sure what that's about. We'll take a look at that. And look at the schematics and see what that's all about. Good thing is our customs are oriented the correct way. Looks like we have all original EPROMs. Edge connector looks good, just a little dirty, nothing alarming there. Power connector looks good, no burning or anything on that, so that's a good sign. Let's take a look at the video board. Got a little dirt on it, nothing major though. You know what though? Let me get rid of this old tag that's on here. Even with a metal ring on it, you don't want anything metal bouncing around on these boards. So let's get rid of that. I do not want a chance hurting the board, shorting something out. Let me get rid of that. All right, let's take a look at the video board. See what we have over here. Proms look good. Emery. Got some dirty legs on some of the customs. Prom looks good. Said we got the good quality resistor packs here as well. We have a couple filtering caps that are broken. There's one there. That's nothing. We'll just clean. We'll end up replacing all those. This thing will get a recap anyway with the electrolytics, along with new sockets and everything. It's just basic maintenance. Original cap here. All right, overall, no locks on here, but that's almost, I'm seeing more and more games coming in with those missing. As long as everything's seated in there, we should be all right. I'll see if I have another set of locks for them. I don't think I do anymore. I think I'm out, but we'll see if we have them. Let me split the boards apart so we can get a look underneath and see what they look like. All right, got the board split apart. Standoffs actually in decent shape. They didn't shatter on us, so we'll set those off to the side. Definitely a lot of dirt in between the boards. Ribbon cable looks pretty rough here. We'll clean that up and test that too. See if that'll make it back on the game or if that'll need replaced. Overall, the bottom of the boards look good as well. On the video board here, looks good. I am not seeing any rework at all. If this thing had any work done to it, they cleaned up after themselves, which is good. I don't like seeing residue from other people working on stuff. Saw leftover flux and everything, just attracts dirt, causes problems down the road. Overall, I got a pin bent over right here. It is not touching though. We'll just straighten him up. Sometimes that happens. These will bend over and short against each other. That's why I always want to do a good visual inspection on a board before you put power to them. Overall, though, very happy with the video board. Looks in good shape. I'm going to see the bottom of the CPU board here. Okay, now you can see here we had a little bit of rework done here. Looks like they might have reflowed a connector, or reflowed those pins. Oh yeah, you can see the extra solder and everything up on top of here. What is that? It's a 158. We'll address that. That's going to need to be cleaned up. Don't like extra solder like that on stuff. Other than that, I am not seeing anything major here. Little bit of heat damage on the board from our amp, not a big deal. That's kind of normal. They generate a decent amount of heat. Power connection looks good. Yeah, overall, not bad at all. All right, so this being a Galaga, we're going to do normal maintenance on it. Going to resocket everything. Some of these sockets, like the proms here, we're going to keep those. These extra sockets were just some regular LSs were changed. They don't need to be socketed anymore. We're going to eliminate those. I'll test the chips. If they're good, it's going to get right to the board. Connections are good, or sockets are good for certain things. You know, your memory, customs, processor, regular circuits like this. It's a weak point in the circuit. I'd like to get rid of these. So we'll get rid of those. Got to repair our custom here. Fix that guy up. Clean. Do a good cleaning on everything. Get rid of the dirt and everything. So let me start there. Let me give it a bath. And get our sockets out of here. Then we can inspect the boards a little closer, make sure there's nothing else we're missing. And, well, you know what? Kind of half tempted to power up just to see what we got to start with. I didn't see anything alarming with anything on the visual inspection. The only thing I've seen is, like I said here, if you look, our primary Z80 is not seated in correctly, so well, he's kind of half out of the board. Let's pop him the rest of the way and just take a look. Get an idea of what we have for old crappy single wipe sockets. And that's going to be under everything here. This is the weak point of these games. But for some reason, I kind of want to see a train wreck. So let's get him snapped back down in. Make sure everything else is correctly oriented here. I'm going to connect some power to this thing, and we'll just see what it does. So give me a moment to switch the monitor over and everything like that and get connected here. I want to see what we get an actual baseline on this one. I'll be right back when that's done. All right, got everything connected here. Monitor is up. Let's get some power to it and see what it's going to do. At least get a baseline of what we're going to have here for repairs. And just a white screen, nothing else. So well, we got the good thing is we got a clock, we got our sinks, because we wouldn't have a stable image there. Got just a very, very high-pitched noise coming out of our speaker, but no activity. All right, now we got a baseline at least, so we know it's not going to work. So what we'll do now, as I said, time for the maintenance portion of this. All new sockets, recap our electrolytics, repair and replace these guys, get our customs back in shape. And as I said, about 70% of all Galagas are fixed just by that alone. So we'll take care of that. Let me get started on desoldering. Hey, making some decent progress on this video board. Got all the sockets removed. Our 2 broken capacitors here. They're out. Our electrolytic's gone. All sockets, even our RAM sockets here, our PROMs, everything's getting replaced. The board is really in good shape. Has a very, I don't know if you can see, a very slight bow to it. Nothing alarming at all. Bottom of the board looks great. Pads, everything looks good on this thing. I'm kind of impressed. These are the kind of boards I like seeing that come in from customers. They look good. They're in decent shape. We'll reflow our video connector here. Check out the edge connector for that. The ribbon, make sure that's all good. But at this point, this board is ready to be, the sockets put back in, the new caps. And I'm going to clean the customs and get those back in. This board will be done then, and we'll start on the video board. Just wanted to give you a quick update of where we are on this right now. All right, well, as with any Galaga, it usually ends up being a multi-day job. Last night before I quit, I did get the video board completely done. Have all new sockets in, cleaned all the legs on the customs, verified our ROMs, they are good. Just went over the board, reflowed our connectors, changed the caps out. Everything looks good on the video board. Nothing alarming. Bottom of the board looks really good. Just this part's ready for testing now. Now, I did start the CPU board. Right now, all new sockets, customs are cleaned. The 71 here is not cleaned yet. Oh, I'm sorry, the 51 here. That one has an issue, and so does, what's this guy up here? 54. There's a couple issues with those. I did not get to those yet. That's what I'm going to do, but recapped everything. All new sockets for all this as well. EPROMs were pulled and verified. They are good. Said the board has the good resistor packs on it, so nothing to do with that. So once I get this populated, repairing this and this custom here, I'm going to hook it up to some power now and see if we get anything different. But on the bottom of this board, a couple things I noticed when I was soldering in the sockets. I did mark them here. I want to get a better look. I can't really even see that well with the magnifying glass. So I'm going to get the scope down here on this. Right here, it looks like there could be some shorted traces. The coating is worn off it. It kind of looks like it was soldered, but nothing. There was no rework done in this area. So I want to get a better look at this. And right here, it looked like one of the traces was lifted off the board and rolled over and was almost touching the pins. I got them back over when I soldered it in, but I want to make sure that is not shorted. If everything's good, we're going to put some new coating on it, lock that stuff in place. But let me get the scope set up here so we can get a good close-up look at this. I'm going to have to reposition the camera for this, but it won't take long. All right, got the scope focused in here. Let me move the board now to the one spot here, if I could find my lines. And let's see, should be right about here. Where's my... It's kind of hard to do under this. I don't use a scope very often unless I'm working on some surface mount stuff, which I just love. There we go. There's our trace. I said if you look here, it looks as if it was rolled over, but it is clear. It's not touching any of the pads. So we're going to put some coating down on that. So that one looks all right. Let's see if I can find this mess we have right here. There we go. Right there. Can't tell quite what's going on with that. It looks like the trace was rolled on that or squished or something. Kind of hard to see. No, okay, it's just exposed, it looks like. And nothing's cut. All right. What we're going to do is just, we're going to cover that with some more coating then to protect it so it can't, nothing can happen to it. All right. Well, that's not as bad as I thought. Let's swing the scope out of the way here now. We're done with that. And get you back overhead here. All right. All right, get down here a little closer. As you can see, right now we have the coating put on here. These tracks are now secure. Same with this one. They're reattached to the board and coated, so they will not be a problem again. Not sure what did that. I don't know if the board might have got scraped or something that made it roll like that, but that'll prevent that from being a problem. So let me clean my marks off there. And we'll get on to our two customs that are left. Once those are done, we should be able to test it and see if it needs any further troubleshooting or not. All right, marks are gone. Now, the two customs I have left on here, where's my... This one here, I had to replay the beginning of the video on this just to make sure I'm not going blind, and I obviously am. I don't know how I missed this, but the 54 that sits up here, now, I pull a custom that especially has corroded legs. I will pull the socket and the chip out together, then clean it so that it has some more support. But if you look here, one pin was not even inserted in. That leg just skipped out when they pushed it in the socket. So that might be a little weak, but we're going to clean that one up, and then we'll tackle the one here with the broken leg. So let me get this guy cleaned up first and get him in the board, and we'll start on this guy. All right, our IC here that had the leg that was bent out, I've got that straightened out and cleaned. The leg itself is actually really sturdy. I'm not worried about that, but you can see we do have one leg broken off here. The good thing is there's enough of this left where we'll be able to solder a new one onto it. The legs themselves are fairly sturdy, so I don't think we're going to have an issue just soldering a new leg on and using the socket. Now, what I am going to do is try to straighten this up a little bit. Looks like it's curved in. Looks like it missed and went rolled in when they put it in. All right, let's get the soldering iron heating up here. And now for a new leg for that, I got some old chips. This is an old PIA that had failed. I've been using this here for legs. Just find a clean one here. There we go. Now what we'll do is tin this. We'll tin the leg and tin the broken one here, and just reattach this directly to it, and that will be enough to give it support and give us a good connection on that. So iron's heated up. Let me put a little flux on that just to help, because I don't want to keep heat on this for a long time, just enough to get this done. All right, where's our broken leg? See if we can hold this. And we'll get a little tin on this here. There we go. All right, now, where did our leg go? We'll get a little tin on that as well. I'll help that stick as well. I'll do some flux. There we go. All right, that both are tinned. This will be fun trying to hold this and solder at the same time. So, let me see if I can find an old socket or something here to shove this into. Use one of these. There we go. And I don't want to use those. I'm going to need those. There we go. That'll hold that in place. Let's see if I can even pick this up now. Get that centered up. And just a little heat now. There's more than enough solder on that. Just some heat. And that leg should be firmly attached now. Let's take a good look. It does look like it's squared up. Got her lined up good. Oh yeah, that's on there. That is going nowhere. I like it. I'll leave that on just for a handle real quick. Get some denatured alcohol out here. And we'll clean that off, and that chip's ready to be inserted then. There we go. And one slipped on me a little bit. We'll straighten him up. Get these straight. Don't try to push in bent legs. They will break off on you. All right, let me find our board. And get you back up a little higher. There we go. And now we'll push that in just a little bit. Where's my leg straightener here? We'll get that. There we go. Get all those lined up better. All right, now that should go in there with no issues. Put one in the right spot. All right, not going to push them in yet. I just want to give a quick look. Looks squared up. There we go. All right, the one that was bent out is in, and our soldered one's in. So that's good enough. Now, for our one that was damaged here, I'm going to leave him in the socket yet, just to give it some support. That is broken off flush, so this is going to, it's repairable. We're going to have to Dremel this out, though, try to get some more metal exposed. That's going to take a little while. I can do that then. Not a big deal. Well, we will save it, at least see if it's salvageable. But what I think I'm going to do, just for testing purposes right now, I'm going to grab a 51 off of out of parts and put in here, so we just go ahead and test the game, see if there's any other issues with it, and if we have to do any more troubleshooting, we can do that. So let me grab another one of these, and I'll get the monitor set up, get everything hooked up, and we'll try it out. All right, before we power this thing up and get it finished off, I did look in the schematics, and there's no reference to this other capacitor that was added here between our capacitor, one electrolytic, and transistor here. I did put it back in place just for now for testing and everything. We'll see if it causes any problems or what it was supposed to solve for problems then maybe. But it had those long exposed leads, so don't leave things like that laying around, because what will happen is these will bend over, they will short. Just take some insulation off some wire and use that on the legs. That'll stop that from happening. Oh, we do need a new 50, what is that, a 51. All right, let me grab one of those I know is good. And what we'll do is, as I said, we'll test it with this one in place. Let me get my glasses on so I can see a little better. There we go. I'm going to test it with a known good one, because when I go to repair that one, it is going to, you got to grind away where the pin is, and it's going to shake the crap out of that IC. If they're really corroded, it could break the connection inside, and we may not work. So I want to, let's use a good known one first. Then we'll try it. If the game boots and everything, we're good to go. We will fix that IC and test it then at that point. With that, let me find my JAMO harness. It fell down here. All right. Everything tangles. Falls and tangles instantly, I think, anymore. Alright. Alright. That is attached. Let's get our power. Come on. There we go. And video. Sounds like the grandkids are up there trying to break the house. Alright, so that's all connected. One last check. Make sure everything is oriented correctly. If you put a custom in backwards, it'll smoke it, and it is done. Pin 1. All right, that looks good. Now, let me get the monitor set here real quick, and we'll test this. All right, that is all set. Oh, let's throw caution to the wind here. Everything looks like it's correct. Let's get some power to it and see if we got to do any more work on this. Not getting a high-pitched squeal like we were. That's a good sign. Let's see. Oh, no signal. Huh. So, let me take a quick look here at everything. No signal. So we lost. Actually, we're worse off than what we were. We did have sync and everything before. Now we don't. Make sure our ribbon cables are tight. Yep, ribbon cables are good. Let's see. That's connected. That's connected. That's correct. And that, everything looks correct. Interesting why we, once again, have less than what we started with. Incorrect. Well, we don't see 08s, 106, the 07's in. 4, the 00, another 07, 2. Everything is in and in the correct orientation. Now, but no clock at all. Alright, well, hate to do it, but probably should have tested before I put this thing in. So let's get rid of this capacitor here. I know it's not on any of the ones I've seen before. So, and it is in the clock circuit area here. Whether it's affecting that or not, we'll find out. All right, let's try power one more time just to see. Some coffee while we're waiting. No signal. All right. Just verifying everything's in the right way, and it is. But no signal means no sync. So do we have a clock? All right, let me get the schematics brought up on this. And we're going to check our clock circuit. We can check it on the Z80, but let me bring it up and we'll see what we got here.